G'day friends and fans, welcome to Tabletop News. I'm your host, the author, David Applegate, author of the books The Boyhood Arcade, Power Games, Into the Owl's Mound, and the Run One is available now. All my links are in my link tree. You can find my books on Amazon. You can follow me on Patreon, X, Facebook. Thank you to all those who support the channel. You can support me on Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch. All my links are in the link tree. Alright, we start with the bundle of holding, which of course I've repeated many times, I'm not sponsored by, but you've got to keep reminding YouTube that you're not sponsored. Otherwise they assume you are when you visit it. No, but this is my favourite site. It's bundles are the best way to get your RPG fix with little to no, well, comparatively fuss, little to no fuss, where you get huge discounts. Although they are predominantly time-limited offers, they do cycle every few years, but overall, pretty affordable and you're not under great pressure. No wonder this is a mega bundle from April 23, a streamlined tabletop role-playing game from Knight. Tiny Dungeon, this is a mega pack, and for a tiny price of $19.95 you get the starter collection. From Knight Games, it uses streamlined, minimalist, tiny D6 rules. These play fast, have characters you can describe on an index card, and it covers a huge range of genres. I mean, there's fantasy, space opera, mech, post-apocalypse, the Wild West, pirates, kaiju, zombies, and mythos horror. But of course, there's also fishing. You can't forget fishing, right? But these can be mashed, mixed, matched. Like, you can fight a kaiju and go to an alien, zombie, haunted, weird wasteland on a fishing trip. These are ideal for one-shots, novice starters, everything you need for itty-bitty adventures. For $19.95, you get 13 titles. Now, of course, if you level up, which I recommend you do, pay the threshold price of $35.86 or more, and you get the entire collection, with 9 more titles. Now, in the starter collection, you get the teeny tiny Dungeon, straightforward, minimalist fantasy role-playing. Wastelands. This is the post-apocalyptic blasted near future, where, again, it's minimalist, where you have settlements, vehicles, and mutants. Micro settings, lightweight, open-ending jumping points for various campaigns. That includes the Enclave deck, where survivors draw a card to reveal an event, and, of course, the DM screen. Tiny Frontiers, space opera. This is a minimalist sci-fi role-playing game, where you have settlements, vehicles, and mutations. This is the classic space opera, probably more akin to Babylon 5 than Star Wars. Bit more, I think, advanced than the Expanse. Alright, Tiny Pirates, the Golden Age of Piracy. And Gunslingers, the Wild and Weird West. Now, of course, you can just play a standard Western, spaghetti Western, but of course you can make it weird by bringing in fantasy elements from Tiny Dungeons, or make it set in the post or you can mix and match. Of course, if you level up, you get more options. Advanced Tiny Collection, of course, is Advanced Dungeons. Get more complex rules and more choices to make for your tiny dungeons. Tiny Caverns, including the all-important mini fishing game. This is to bring your fantasy games to life, where you can have plot hooks, a hub, a slice-of-life fantasy game, bringing, of course, mechas and monsters, of course, the kaiju and mecha, basically anime brought to life, right? Tiny Cthulhu, of course, a minimalist horror. Tiny Spies. Now this is covert action in the modern era. Rules for gadgets, chases, backgrounds, and of course the living dead. Literally. Zombies. Zombie fight. A Mammoth Pack. Totally, of course, totally popular. And what's the tiny... I actually have this pack. But what's new is the Tiny Zine. The Tiny Zine, one price, $12.95, gets you the Tiny Zine. Grow your tiny RPGs with this bundle. Further expand your collection with 4 complete compilations. Retail $70, DRM 3. Now this actually expands on and includes, of course, previous Tiny Compendiums. So if you have 2018, 19, 20, and 2021, that's what they are. It's all the past ones. So if you have them, this is not needed. But if you don't, this is 44 issues of Tiny Zine for one price, 2018 to 21. Ironforged, a tabletop role-playing game for solo or group play from Tomkin Press. Ironsworn Starforged, $14.95. One price gets you the entire collection. Presents Ironsworn Starforged and Sundered Isles. This is perilous fantasy in Ironsworn, space opera in Starforged, and seafaring in Sundered Isles. These are all powered by the apocalypse mechanics. No extra material required. No extra rulebooks. I mean, these are all self-contained. Now, these support 3 game modes. Solo, co-op, where you have players working together without a game master, or adjudicated by a game master. Now, $14.95 gets you all 4 titles, which you have Ironsworn, which is a Dark Age, low fantasy, Valduin quests. Ironsworn Starforged is the spacefaring evolution of Ironsworn, where you still have low fantasy and quests are driven by vows. And seafaring for Ironsworn and Starforged, where basically you take still, it's an expansion where you have world building, science, fantasy, nautical adventures. And Delve, a supplement to take you into the subterranean caverns or untracked forests, foreboding swamps, the icebound wastelands, ancient ruins that still hold secrets, with an array of new options and tools, all designed for zero prep gameplay with or without a game master. As I've said in previous episodes, a lot of games these days are focusing on solo play, I mean, this isn't just because of the cough of unspecified origin, but of course, simply because, let's face it, a lot of people just want to enjoy the game now. Not everybody has weekends that align. A lot of people have commitments. As the fantasy player grows older, I mean, a lot gravitate to online gaming. That's true. I can't deny that tabletop role-playing has diminished over the years. Now, Girl Genius is different. Unlike other bundles, this is a comic. This is a rebirth from October 2020. Girl Genius starts with the well-priced, fantastically priced, $5.95 for the introductory graphic novel, and the bonus collection gives you Girl Genius, to complete the Girl Genius collection. This is the second resurrection of the October 2020 Girl Genius bundle. This is a zeppelin full of digital graphic novels. Now, $5.95 gets you 4 titles in the starter collection. Right? This is the digital albums and the electronic editions of the first 3 volumes of Girl Genius Secret and the Secret Blueprints, a teaser trailer to mark the debut of the original comic, and some extra freebies. But if you beat the level up and beat the threshold price of $30.81, you get the entire collection, 12 more digital albums worth $102. Pay the minimum price, you get the first 3 albums. This is the start of a gas lamp fantasy adventure romance with mad science. Blueprints, the ideal introduction to Girl Genius. So, gives you all the characters, historical notes, and the freebies, collection of wallpapers and paper dolls and more. There's 52 pages of free material right there. Now, of course, they did come out with Girl Genius 2. This is from May 2023. More Gaslamp Fantasy Comics. Girl Genius Journey 2 starts with Volume 14. The introduction pack $9.95 gives you Volumes 14, 15, and 16 with Girl Genius Nuts and Bolts. This is a long-running webcomic, if you're new to this. It's fantasy, romance, mad science. A sequel to the Girl Genius bundle. This is Agatha's second journey. 924 pages, full colour. For $9.95, you get 4 titles in the original format, digital format, sorry. And the companion book, Girl Genius Nuts and Bolts, which is a side story and extras. Now, if you level up and pay the threshold price of $19.17, you also get the bonus collection. There's 5 more albums to complete the journey, volumes 17 through to 20, as well as a third collection of the space opera Buck About Zakon for Hire. And if you go to Girl Genius, you actually get. I think it's mentioned in. There it is, bonus level. Yeah. As well as the complete graphic, the first 2 volumes of Buckadot are in Girl Genius, and there's the so level up, get them both, and level up, and you get, just basically for that, you get basically a huge comic collection. Now, of course, from Green Ronin, a well-respected I suppose tabletop publisher, sci-fi tabletop role players, The Expanse and Modern Age. Now, The Expanse and Modern Age uses the age system. Now, the Modern Collection, $17.95, gets you the introduction, and this gives you the Expanse role-playing game based on James Corey's mega-popular science fiction novels of diplomacy, danger, and discovery in the solar system of the future. The revival includes Modern Age, the rules for high-power action in the Industrial Revolution onwards. Both these use easy-to-learn, fast-playing adventure game engine from Greenland Publishing. Everything you need to create your own modern and near-future role-playing. Of course, if you level up and pay above the threshold price of $34.24, you get the entire collection. In the base set, you get the Modern Age basic rulebook, all the action you need to get going on a two-fisted pulp adventure, martial arts duels, or horror, urban fantasy, or a dystopic future. This centers on action, exploration, and stunts. Doubles and 3 6s get you extras. And of course, the compendium, everything you need to expand the Modern Age with new backgrounds, professions, talents, and other options to expand and build upon your campaign. Threefold brings the multiverse, basically rifts, aka gates to alternative Earths and other worlds. Enemies and allies give you Modern Age characters, ready to go characters and ready to go enemies. Missions, Wallflower gives you swords, drugs, sorcery. All the Wallflower inspires them all. This is an obscure book that is stolen, full of strange and violent gets stolen and is sought out by strange and violent factions, which putting you against time, of course, to recover the book and solve the mystery. It's an introductory adventure to the Modern Age. And of course, you've got the Game Master's Kit, everything you need to be a Game Master for Age. Now, if you level up, you get the Expanse, which uses the age system. You actually have to level up to get the Expanse. But you get all the Expanse. You get the science fiction setting, the ships, civilian, merchant, and military spacefaring vessels of the Expanse, the Game Master's Kit, everything you need to be a Game Master in the Expanse, a solar system expanding adventure, a booze bounty, another adventure, salvage operations, haunted houses in space. It's an introductory. Not long to go. I have this. Of course, this was all brought to you by my patrons. I have a ongoing Patreon future fantasy, homebrew science fiction fantasy setting with over 100 articles now and lots of maps. Latest been on the Smart Gun, a device attached to a build of the gun. Basically, it's an aim assist. It's an advanced form of basically laser system. It's pretty bit more sophisticated. Aim assist. Right. Now, when you buy from when you buy from Bundle Holding, so when you join, you can actually link your Drive-Thru RPG account, usually by using the same email. Makes it easier. And it's usually best to be logged into Drive-Thru RPG before you sign up for the bundle holding, and then sign in and link your account so that most of what you buy will be linked here. So if there's any future updates or future offers, often when you buy bundles, you get discounts and future offers. Now, one thing that's fast growing, thanks to the advent of 3D printing at home, basically replicators without the sophistication, but pretty much the basic principle behind replicators. So basically, you create something, an image, and it can be replicated over and over again. This is a army builders pack from Brotherwise. They have produced a few fantasy armies, but these are STL files, generic miniatures for Stormlight. Yeah. There is a growing tabletop away from the basically expensive store-bought miniatures. But now, miniature RPGs have been around for a long time. I remember when I was young, Age of Napoleon used paper figures on a little plastic stand. And it was based on a game that was much older that used wooden blocks. There's a few wooden pony. Trying to think. Pewter Roman soldiers. So, plastic 3D printing is the obvious evolution of tabletop gaming. Now, new is Huckleberry. This is a expansion / bounty / adventure for Huckleberry, a Weird West RPG. Wrangling cattle is bovine brutality. Comes with VVT and print with some artwork. We've got the notices there. This product is new. It's just been added not long ago. Now, of course, Wizards of the Coast is still chugging along. They haven't collapsed, despite what many naysayers have said. Though I think they've taken a big hurt. And I think we're not going to see 6th edition for a while. And then suddenly tomorrow they'll prove me wrong. But I don't think we're going to see 6th edition in this decade. There's been a lot of firm commitment to 5th edition. But of course, they made firm commitments to 5th edition. I think that's because long-lasting rumours have finally been put to rest. A lot of them debunked or denied. But yes, Wizards of the Coast has produced a new tabletop game, and it is sci-fi. It is called Exodus. Now, it's not just tabletop. They are tying it into upcoming video games. Now, this is apparently going to be pretty much a cross between Baldur's Gate 2 and Knights of the Old Republic. Now, there's apparently some information on the Wizards of the Coast site, and it is confirmed as a 5th edition expansion, but it's its own handbook. So, with the handbook, basically is 5th edition rules with its own character handbook. Now, of course, they are returning to Dark Sun after a lot of people have been asking, What about Dragonlance? Or what about Forgotten Realms? I'm not keeping up with Wizards of the Coast or D&D for a long time. I know that one of the biggest complaints about D&D is the overabundance of material, even in one setting, let alone the settings they support. And of course there's you can still get some material, and then there's others that say, well, you can't produce material for these settings, but they do have some downloads for modern and sci-fi. Like I said, they brought sci-fi back. I don't know what they're doing with modern or any of the other settings, but it looks like they're going to alternate rather than... And as with a lot of releases, they are playtesting. And of course, subclasses are very popular. Basically, subclassing allows you to basically say, hey, I'm a fighter. I don't want to stop playing my fighter. Ooh, I'll take my sheet, I'll copy it to a new sheet, and add a subclass. So, a lot of people know Dark Sun. Those who don't, it's a post-apocalyptic society set in a quasi-Egyptian setting where there's the Sorcerer King. You got pyramids and basically desert people. You stray too far from what's left of civilization. It's basically the rest of the world's just the wasteland that basically eats you alive. Basically, the entire setting eats you alive eventually. It's horror within, or basically a swift death in the desert. Now, apparently, a lot of change with Dark Sun since I've played Dark Sun. But it's not like everything else. Everything's abandoned until it's not. Everything is dead until it's not. Some, of course, are criticizing the direction of the Wizards of the Coast right now. But nobody's twisting your arm. You can still play fifth edition as you know it. They're not entitled to your money. It gets me how fanatical some people are about D&D, and that's they experienced explosive growth when they brought out 3.5 because they piled on the books, but then they basically burnt through the well of ideas, and they really burned people with 4th edition because it was just 3rd edition again with some tweaks, and then 5th edition really soured people, I know. But 5th edition is here to stay. Mostly, of course, it survives on the video game. Everybody knows it. You've got your Neverwinter Nights,